Special good night to all our viewers here on the platform, Carrying American News Media. Welcome to our Tuesday's broadcast. And remember, our system is still not up, so I am still having to do a lot of magic here on the platform to get it going. But it is what it is. The system will be here. We will have a system in-house very shortly, but for now, we are on air. Please share as much as you can with your friends, your loved ones. Let them know that we are on. It is 8:15 p.m. in your community and in my community. And so, folks, we are going to get to work.
Caribbean American Media, welcome to our live stream with Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work.
Thank you. Yes, we are at work already, Madam Producer. Yes, we are at work and we're ready to go. I am all settled in. And thank you. Yes, my people. How was your day? How was your day so far? We're not staying long tonight. We will fire on all cylinders, but we're not going to stay long tonight. All right? Let me just wet my throat. I was busy today looking at and by the way, greetings to all. I can't see the comments. Facebook have been having a little problem with the comment section. So let's just bear with the system. Let me see if I can run across your comments. Just hang with me there. Let us see. Yes, good. So I got your comments here. Greetings, everybody. Yes. Greetings, people. Greetings. Why did I lose? What did I lose the comments again? Okay, just bear with me there. Let me press that live thingy. Yeah, I want to see your comments. I want to be able to read them. Yes. Good. All right, so I'm trying to get the our YouTube up. so that we can see what is happening over there. Coming up shortly, yes. Josie, Zakafet. Bernard, greetings. Something is wrong with my comments. I just can't see everybody. ISF, Williams, greetings. Delor, greetings. Lisa, how are you? Jean-France, greetings. Greetings. I keep losing my comments, getting them back, losing them. Alice Gibson, my partner in crime, Lydia Francis, greetings to you. And I will show you what I was doing while I wait on YouTube to fire up over there on our main system. Just bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Wasn't going to come on tonight, but I say, you know what? Let me just come and meet with my people. Spend some time together. Remy, greetings. Greetings. Yes, so it looked like Caribbean American News. We're going to pull it over on our end now. Yappity yap, yabba dabba doo. Yes, we on over there. So just bear with me. I'm just trying to do a lot of logistics, things that I would have done before I get on the show. I'm doing it now. So just bear with me. Stanislas, howdy. Yes. I do not want to forsake my folks over on YouTube. All right. There are also special people over there. Angelique, greetings to you. Matilda, greetings. And also, Damain, greetings. I haven't seen my sister Sylvia, greetings to you. I haven't seen hers yet. So she should be there. She's always there. She's never, both you and your husband and your family, greetings to you. So this is what I was doing today. I'll tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. No disturbance. Folks, today I was baking while the program was going on. I decided that, look, I want some bread. I want some homemade bread. And I decided, look, I'm going to get the bread by any means necessary. Mary Zakafet, Veronica. And so I went, while PJP was doing his stuff, I went and I got the bread flour. I don't like the all-purpose. And I decided to bake. And here's one of the bread. Ego. A big one. Look at it. Yeah, I know y'all going to laugh. But it tastes good. It's mine. I know what's in it. And I know what's going into it. So, power call. All right? So I did that. And I'm not going to tell you what else I did. Because, you know, you will talk. You will talk. Where's Martin Francis? I'm not seeing Martin Francis at all. Is he in church? Is he there? I'm not seeing him. Charles Sakofet. Ernest. Bisette. Julia. Greetings. All right, let's get to work, folks. There's so much happening. As you know, I did not get time to put my clips together and everything else, so we're going to just spend some time ranting and just looking back. Concerning the, look, my friend Martin, I feel better now. Oh, boy, dear, all is good. I feel good now. Mama, we're going to have a good night. Martin is in the house. I thought Martin went to church because it's Holy Week. I thought he went to church. All of you should be in church. Anyway, we normally have church here too, ain't it? The Prime Minister gave his estimates for and his plans for the year 2024-25 in the House today. And I'm still looking at it. I'm still looking at the information, a lot of stuff, a lot of figures, I don't want to be careless in just, I don't want to be careless in just saying things about the estimate of revenues and expenditure for the year 2024-25. I want I want us to look at it. I want us to listen to the debate tomorrow also, and then we'll afford the government the opportunity to address us, to speak to us on the agenda. It looks like a very expensive agenda with no time for all these ideas to really get off. The figures are big. The losses are big. And we got to just look at it and dissect. And so we'll wait for the debate. We don't want to jump ahead of the opposition and be saying things. Allow the opposition leader to rebut and to speak on the budget, and then we can get into it. But all I would say is based on what I'm seeing, that you St. Lucians are in some serious financial problems. You're borrowing a lot. You're borrowing heavily to pay salaries and other stuff. And I'm not sure how sustainable that is. I would imagine that we will have to get into your pockets again at some point, because we went into your pockets and still we cannot afford dogs. We got to, and I didn't bring on the clip, but let's listen to. Let me put on my earpiece for a minute. Let's listen to former commissioner. I think it's Mr. Daisy. Let's listen to him on the dog affairs. And we'll see whether we have to find Sugar Cake to come down and help us out, Okay, so let's see here. Let's go over to a clip.
Police Commissioner Milton Daisy informed that the pre-existing K-9 unit was instrumental in conducting 47 operations with a 63% success rate that included the confiscation of firearms, drugs, and cash. Over $40,000 was recovered in just one operation, and 9 firearms along with a substantial amount of drugs in another.
At that time, the K-9 unit putting out the cost of it, a K-9 unit, and I think it is one of the tools needed, especially now with everything that's going on, to have in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Actually, the K-9s we had were able to detect large sums of cash, drugs, and firearms.
Commissioner Daisy explained that the Royal St. Lucia Police Force is awaiting the renewal of the contract to reinstall the K-9 unit, something which is not under his purview. Prime Minister Philip Pierre, in response, asserted that his government is considering the renewal but has to be prudent in undertaking this venture, which will cost the government some $40,000 per month.
The agreement was sent to us, but we have to be prudent. We've not signed it. We haven't said we will not sign it. It's under consideration. And that's a fact. It's a very simple situation. We had to make the choice.
The Prime Minister was speaking at the press conference on Thursday, at which he detailed government strategy to tackle crime. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
Okay, that was Don Nicholas there from DBS News, St. Lucia. So, folks, the former commissioner, he gave the science concerning the use of the K-9 and the importance of the K-9 unit. The police sent the agreement to the Prime Minister for signature. The Prime Minister said to us that he is considering it that they want to be prudent, and they did not say they're not going to sign it. I'm going to ask the Prime Minister, did we sign the agreement for the K-9 unit? Just a question. Did we sign the agreement for the K-9 unit? You said that you guys never said you're not going to do it, but the police, who I believe you should have been listening to, said that it is an important tool or unit in the force. Effective, of course. And it is something that we would love to have, in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. But you said it's $40,000. It's a lot of money for handlers and food and care and everything else for the K-9 unit. Transportation. It's too much money, $40,000. And I found out today, and I'm still following that story, that you're getting a dog from Martinique. And we are still following the story. We are subject to correction. We're hearing that you are getting a dog that is not a K-9 dog. Now, I got to stop before I go forward, because we can get a little excited and stuff like that, so we want to calm it down. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you said that you are getting a dog for free from the French. But you don't know if it's 2, 3, or 4. But you can say you're getting 1. I'm a little confused with that. I get confused very easy with the government of St. Lucia. I get very confused quickly. So we're going to get 1 dog. But the dog got to be trained. We're getting a dog that is not trained. Well, let me assume we're getting a dog that is not trained. A dog that would not be able to function on day 1 because it is not trained. And so the French have an extra dog, and so they sent it to us. I don't know which French, if it's French authorities, if it's Shazi. I don't know if Shazi, while he is doing his errands in Martinique, came across a stray dog and decided that this is a good dog for the police force. Let me call PJP and tell him I found the dog. But the dog needs training. It needs potty training. And it needs to learn English. So I am thinking in my head that Shazi, at least he's working for his money. Shazi found a stray dog and rescued the dog. Now you guys know that I'm kidding, right? Shazi, I'm sure you can take a little joke, You like to jab people a lot, so you like to jab people about Christianity too, so I hope you don't mind me jabbing you tonight. You're fair game. So a dog will be coming over because The dog will have to learn patois. So Shazzy could have taken his time, and at least, because he has a lot of time on his hands, at least Shazzy can teach the dog some Creole. Pas isla. Voas. Dubut. Ale. Papi siya bagay la. So the dog will have to be trained in Creole. But that will be a lot of work, from Français to Patois. And then to crime fighting. I'm beginning to like sugar cake even more, because I prefer us to use sugar cake from England, because sugar cake has Lucian citizenship too. At least, the dog is well taken care of. It's already learning Creole and English. It's way advanced. It's best K-9 unit. But let me ask you, the Prime Minister said it's going to be one dog. How do you make a kid? How do you make a K-9? How do you put together a K-9 unit with one dog? Suppose the dog have a migraine, or Shaji train the dog to drink whiskey, or Bounty, and the dog have hangover and it can't work. Who is backing up the dog? Who let the dogs out? And that's the question. Who let the dogs out, really? Roof. This crisis that the police K-9 unit is facing right now, it is a self-inflicted problem. The problem with the K-9 unit, it is a problem that the government of St. Lucia created, all in an attempt to find Bobble. So the government of St. Lucia, they have been creating problems, looking for problems, and still not finding the problem. And so we had a good K-9, successful K-9 unit in the country. And $40,000 was not too much for the success of these dogs. They could have paid for themselves. But somebody let the dogs out. And it wasn't Chasney. Somebody let the dogs out. And somebody said, can you imagine $40,000 for a dog? And this is ludicrous. Can you imagine the opposition leader, him? And the police is saying to those guys, please, fellas, we need the dogs. We need the dogs. They're successful. Don't let the dogs out. Roof. But somebody let the dogs out. And the dogs, when they try to finally get the dogs back between the gates, one dog end up in Canada called Sugar Cake. Well, that's a joke. Brethren, the dogs end up in Jamaica, I heard. That's what they say. Words on the street. You know how you folks like the terminology and the idea of the dog. The word on the street is that the dogs not only was let out, it was let straight out of the country. And another government took the dogs brought them into their service. But my question is, St. Lucians, and listen to me carefully. My question is, if the Prime Minister don't know the amount of dogs that Shazi is sponsoring, if he don't know and he's saying to us that we will have a K-9 unit, yes, we will have a K-9 unit. Well, I agree with you, PM, that your father's the police and not you, and I can see it now that you're very right on that. How do you have a K-9 unit with one dog? That's what I'm trying to find out right now. The animal society will come for you all, you know. One dog. And that one dog is considered to be a K-9 unit. Yeah. St. Lucians. You are good. And Miss Lisa said, Senator Lisa said, we got to do a study. We got to have the scientific whatever it is about the dogs. And did you have the scientific evidence and proof of the importance of the dog when you let it out? How can you move something you don't know the effects of moving it, but you move it? And then you say, when we ask you, where is the dogs? Jose Chien, who didn't know about follow the science. Basically, that's what you're telling us. And we know when we follow your science, what normally happens, of course. All fall down. So, who advised the government of St. Lucia to remove the K-9 unit from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force? And that's the question. The second question is, what science, qui calte science, zote servi les a fait ces chiens escape? And when you try to get the dogs, ces chiens te have parti. Then we are told that we will get one dog, and the one dog will have to be trained. And then you said to us, we are not sure whether it's 1, 2, or 3. I don't know, but I can tell you we get in one dog. For me, advisors, I would say to you, don't allow the Prime Minister to make that statement again in public, that you have a K-9 unit with one dog. Please don't do that. Please. Cease from it. Cease from doing that. Because from an effective K-9 unit to no K-9 unit to one dog. And with the one dog, you still do not have a K-9 unit. We have a call coming in. Let's take this call. Calling you on the air, Caribbean American News Media.
Good evening, my brother. It's been a while. How are you?
Not bad, man. Good to hear your voice. Welcome to the platform.
I hope I didn't disturb you on your
rant
talks there, but I had to intervene a little bit.
Man, I appreciate the call. Appreciate it.
Let me tell you, man. You see, today, listening to Philip J. Pierre in the House of Parliament, and listening to this man talking about the K-9 unit, honestly, Brother Garfield, I've had it with this man. The level of arrogance, it's disturbing. Can you believe our Prime Minister would go on national TV to have a press conference, and when he mentioned the word dog, he started laughing?
I'm looking for the clip, I'm still trying to recover it, but yes, it's ridiculous.
Can you really understand how ignorant this sounds?
Somebody send me the clip. I lose the clip.
Can you believe, brother, that this man can literally, laugh after just mentioning the word dog? You laughing, my brother, but this is serious, And the reason why I really call you, because I know many St. Lucians are not on the live, but however, it may reach them. Brother Garfield, haven't St. Lucians realized that this administration, there's a pattern with the way they govern? That everything good for St. Lucians tend to be not good for them?
Yeah.
Everything deserving of St. Lucians have to be like on the minority level, like very small.
Yes.
There were free dogs. It was 45,000 a month for the dog. It was too expensive. They're giving them one dog freeness. They have to train the dog, and they still have to feed that dog, and they're taking the one dog.
And still got to pay a handler.
You see what is happening, of course.
Yep.
People are not realizing how foolish and how ridiculous these guys sound.
Yep.
And I heard him in the house talking about Yui earlier today. My brother, one thing I have learned in life, you see, going to school doesn't give you any sort of wisdom. Because clearly our Prime Minister lack wisdom. The man lack wisdom. Honestly, you don't see the Prime Minister do not sound and look intelligent. Just because you said the word dog, you're laughing, really?
But
he doesn't even believe.
But he knows it's a joke. He knows it is a joke talking about one dog as a K-9 unit. He knows that is a joke.
I don't think that's why he laughed.
He laughed because...
Honestly.
Shazzy, good job.
Brother Garfield.
Look for 2 more mongrels in Martinique for us.
In all honesty, I believe this man laughed because he doesn't even understand the work of the dogs. You hear me? He doesn't. He doesn't understand that. Because he heard the word dog, he just think it's a regular dog on the street, Hey, it's a dog, I've had it with this man. I am very respectful to everybody, but to me, this thing is getting really out of control. What type of behavior is this, man? We like a laughing stock around the world. The German come in, and the German is having a press conference, and the behavior, man. Oh my goodness, he cannot even control himself. You know, he looks like a clown. You know, well, he's giving us the clown behavior, so obviously he's going to look like a clown. You know, I don't know. I don't know, brother. Like, I think we need to do something. I don't know who's going to do it, but we really need to do something. You know.
So what you? What
I
was
know
your,
you're having a good time.
yeah,
but
but what was
true,
your thoughts
you
on the expenditure that was presented today by the government by the Prime Minister? Did you look at the
there
figures
was a lot of.
yet? Yeah.
I haven't had a time to go back and really look at the
Right.
figures, but I was listening. I was listening at the time because I had it amplified on my radio while I was doing something in the kitchen.
Oh,
So I was
okay.
kind of listening to it, and I heard him saying a few numbers. 1.33 million, one this, and I heard him saying some numbers. You know, he's not very good the accountant that's not very good with saying numbers. So I mean, you have to really take a look at those numbers. But based on what I heard him saying, he keep asserting that his assertion is that, you know what, it's like the government is doing very well. He keep repeating that to make the people out there believe that they're doing so well. However, most of the numbers he's giving, he keep going back to say that he knows that the government can do better, and they're gonna have to do something with basically the departments that are not functioning very well. And he goes back and then he tells you a few numbers and then he go back. It's like, honestly,
And then
you
he
have to
says-
have a lot of
he says to you
patience
that
to
there are
listen
some
to this
figures
man.
that are not there, and he will present it later. Blah blah.
Oh
blah,
yes,
blah, blah.
he said he'll
Yeah.
present it later. You know, but you need a lot of patience when listening to this man, because honestly, it is a travesty when Pierre is talking to really sit and understand. You know, and I don't know if many people understand what is happening, but my brother, the country is being run based on taxes, because he said that he thanked the people of St. Lucia, you know,
Yeah.
for taking their hard-earned money away from them. You know, money they could have been spent on their kids, maybe take their kids to vacation somewhere, or maybe
That's a few million
maybe buy
dollars.
them a new pair of shoes or something. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, it's a few
But
million.
it's a few million. It's a few million. And however, he said, I think somewhere he said that this year that they will collect the actual 35 million, I think was the projection, right?
Yeah, I
But
believe so.
based on the time it started, I think he said they shot somewhere, or they collected about 17 million, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
You know. But my concern here is these monies that he's talking about. Are we actually seeing the benefit of these monies that they're collecting? Because he's talking like it's really impacting the lives of the people. However, we're not seeing that. You understand?
Yeah.
Because Harry is in the same breath. I think he was talking about, was it the national lottery? Yeah, he mentioned the 80 million that is borrowed for the national lottery. I know they have to elaborate on these things, like debate on it and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
However, we still don't know why that 80 million was borrowed for. What was the reason? Is the national lottery not making money? Is that what it is? I have to ask that question, because I know for a fact that entity is supposed to be running at a profit based on the algorithm that they're using for
Yeah.
any lottery.
That's right.
Anywhere in the world, lotteries can run. You know? So if it's not, I know of instances where I think there's still cases pending based on money being embezzled from the national lottery.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what is going on really. Why is those money? Is it really borrowed to fund that league he's talking about? If it's to fund the league has already commenced, and and they still haven't presented the numbers to people as to, because based on what I know, when it comes to a league, you have to know how much money do you pay in referees, which is officials, how much money you pay in like a coaching staff, how much money you pay in players, and you would have to maintain those grounds too, because every game you would have to pay people like caretakers for those venues.
Yeah.
You understand? So you also have to factor transportation. So there is a lot of factors in having a tournament like that. So is that 80 million for the tournament? And if it is for the tournament, how much is it bringing back?
Yeah.
So are we to speculate, Brother Garfield, that this $80 million is basically money being used to campaign? Because that competition looked like a campaign to me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Why is it the field a few years ago, I think back in 2019, 2020, sorry, mm-hmm. Those fields based on the scientists we have in St. Lucia, they said that those fields were cancerous.
Yeah.
So what happened now? So are we putting our citizens in harm's way just because we want to score political points now? Have they done any research on those fields and given us any report as to why they're using that field? You see, these questions have to be asked, because there's a lot of things that we're not asking those questions, and these reporters sometimes I don't know why they're there and they're not asking these guys these questions. And I have to say, Brother Garfield, mm-hmm. when you look at the pattern of behavior of this government, you have to start with the K-9 unit. Start with the K-9. Well, I don't know if it's a unit, but anyway.
Well,
the
do you
K-9
call one?
Yeah,
well, I don't know. One dog K-9 unit. Well,
yeah, well,
anything is possible in
whatever it is. Yeah, anything. Yes, but also you have to factor that dog will be exhausted, because how can you go on a raid with one dog? One dog. Come on, think of it for a while. Let's say you were to get intelligence, right? And you were to create like a simultaneous raid, one in the north and one in the south, or one in the north and one in the west, either or. How are you going to do that raid? How are you going to do it when you have one dog? How is that possible? You see, these are the things that we don't think of, and the mediocrity of our leaders and even our police sometimes. Because when they have good things, they don't want it. Where is the where is the insurance that they have for their life insurance? Do they have that anymore?
I think
these are the things.
I think the police had life insurance or health insurance at some point. I don't know. I know there was a problem in paying it. I'm not sure.
Well, anytime you overlap when it comes to insurance, you're not paying it, then you do not have insurance. Because it is supposed to be, life insurance supposed to be like a continuous thing. You have to keep paying it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's what I know, and based on my understanding that they stopped paying it. You understand?
We got to find out from the police. But with the artificial turf on the fields, this government should be happy that they're saving money in cutting grass and maintenance.
Of course.
And I mean, it's beneficiary to them now, ain't it?
But, well, that's it. Why are they even using it in the first place? Because, Brother Garfield, that's where you have to hold these guys accountable for what they say before. Mm. Because if you haven't done any studies on something, you spew all your garbage during the election. Now you're in government. You actually hosting a tournament that you use, or not just a tournament. I think they've had like concerts or whatever. Every event they use those grounds.
They had independence celebration on the same artificial thing.
That's correct. That's correct.
In
And
Suffolk.
and you keep using. So here we are. Here we are. We have a government that all they do is limit us from actually progressing. That's what they're doing. Brother Garfield, a new airport was supposed to be built. It's supposed to be bigger, right?
Yeah.
And no, it's too big. St. Lucians don't deserve it. A bigger hospital was being built, modernized structure. No, it's too nice. St. Lucia don't deserve it. You see, we see what is happening with drugs entering our country. I heard a minister himself say, I think when was I think it was during the Allen administration. They were talking about backdoor and nonsense and this and that. All this nonsense. When I think it was COVID time, or around COVID, yes, it was COVID, around COVID. They used to say about how COVID was entering the country through backdoor and back channel. Allen was talking about the back channel, right? And they were the ones who used to say, is through the port of entry that the tourist is bringing in, that is bringing those COVID cases on the island.
Right.
However, you see, when these guys were in opposition, they tend to know everything. They knew everything that was supposed to happen, Brother Garfield.
Yep.
However, now they actually in the driver's seat. You oublié, you put in a license to drive après ça. Can you believe it?
Funny.
So, I don't understand all the brouhaha you were making before. You didn't remember you don't have a license yet? That you had to actually get that license before you come and sit in that driver's seat. And it right now it's evident because we all can see it that these guys cannot govern the country. And no matter how hard they try and they want us to believe that they can govern that country, and I'm saying to St. Lucian, if someone is for you, and if any government is for less fortunate, the first place they start working for you by reducing prices, making it more affordable for you, because your money is so limited. You're not very wealthy. You cannot afford what they tend to go to what's the masses and buy or what's the place where they sell the bulk groceries there. Go and buy bulk. So if they're for you, as it's their mantra, I think he said it in the house again today, putting the people first. Why is it you keep taking from the very people that you claiming that you care for? Well, brother man, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, man, you care for them, you care for their pocket.
It doesn't work. And why is it those people, they're not seeing that when you have a leader, and I'm talking about Alan Chastanet at that time, Alan Chastanet administration, when you had an administration that was actually putting money, when somebody take reduce taxes from 15 to 12.5. Brother man, that's money in your pocket, because that's money that you were supposed to be giving to government, and that now you have it. You can do whatever you want with it because it's now yours. I don't know how people cannot see that. Now you may argue, okay, yes, Alan take out 250. But he put 120, 150 on the gas.
Right.
You would say that. But let's argue that now. Let's argue that. That 150 he put on gas, which is petrol. Does everyone in the country have a vehicle? No. Who has those vehicles? It's those same people that can afford that are driving those vehicles. So there it is. The 2.5% that he reduced on the taxes on the 15, he's actually helping you, the poor person, because he's keeping that money in your pocket.
Yep.
How is it we can't understand those? It's simple logic, brother. And when I listen to Pierre, that he claimed to be accountant, my brother, I don't know if I would let Pierre be my accountant, honestly. I know Pierre used to be an accountant for a particular business person. I'll not say who, as I used to work for those people before.
Yeah.
And a lot of them and business is no longer. Only one business, one of them that stayed, because that's the only one in St. Lucia. So probably if they had any other competition, that one would have gone too.
Yeah. Yep.
We have to be careful who we put in that driver's seat. It's very important, because we may think that we're electing the right person. But in that case with Alan and Pierre, my brother, I think that was a huge mistake.
Yep.
Great show as usual.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling, my brother. Yes, my friend. That is one of our favorite callers there to the program. And he makes a lot of sense, because, and I'm reading some of the comments also. Some of you are saying, look at Castries. And Castries is just a ridiculous mess. And where is the plans? Where are the plans for the development of Castries? Where is it? GPH? What else? What else? How do we invest in the city? How do we fix the city? What is the plan? And so most of us were right when we said that this government came into power without a plan. Yoteji sauté. They were even shocked that they themselves got into power. And so they went in without a plan. And when I listen to all these ideas, and by the way, not because you have this million, 2 million, it means that the government have that type of money sitting there. This is a broke government, because they're borrowing to pay. They're borrowing to pay workers. They are borrowing monies so that they can keep the government system moving. The St. Lucia government cannot afford to pay their workers. And we got to pull it back. We got to pull back the horse. And we got to figure out something quickly. Or we'll be borrowing. And then when the chicken come home to lay, ain't no bed. So we got to encourage this government. You are in power. Do your best to control your borrowing. Do your best to save government dollars. But please do not sacrifice our roads. Do not sacrifice our health care. And do not sacrifice our security. We got to clean up the government offices. There are a lot of people in government work doing nothing. There are a lot of government workers who are at their homes for years getting pay, and they ain't doing nothing. We got to clean up the bubble and the nastiness in government so that we can, at least, we can float. We can do it. It can be done. We got to have a lean government. A government that the government itself can afford. The government can't afford the government. And that's a fact. We can't even afford a dog. Somebody have to give us a dog and tell us, I'm giving you all a dog, you all have to train the dog yourself. But based on what the Prime Minister said to us that, well, we're going to get assistance from the French government with dogs, and we're going to get the assistance for the K-9 unit. And I heard I heard the commissioner excited about a K-9 unit that we get in dogs with a S. Not knowing that is a dog. And we don't know if we'll get dogs. We don't know if this dog will come to St. Lucia pregnant so we can get other little K-9 dogs because they call the one dog a K-9 unit. Confusion. We don't know. We know what's going on. We got to speculate all the time. Shazzy is the one that have to call Newspin tomorrow and tell us what kind of dog it is. Is it coming with little dogs? You got to tell us something, sir. Because mom, I'm confused still, man. I'm on my last brain cell, so why is me? Mem. So the Prime Minister said, right, let's play this from last night. And we have another blag. I have another blag to give you all.
I know all that pretense about crime and who's pushing crime. I know what's happening behind the scene. What's happening behind the scene? I know. I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say it at some point, and you all may have to deal with me because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know.
So, again, because we don't have a proper system, I did not want to put any other clips on this platform lest it slow it down and it cut out on us. So what we're operating on is very lean system. There's not a lot of pressure I can put. It's sticking, as you can see. All right? But I was able to remove a lot of stuff so that it can at least take us through. So I did not put a lot of those clips in this system. But the Prime Minister, based on what I heard, the Prime Minister is saying that he gave the police he made a report to the police basically about who is committing the crimes. So wait, folks. St. Lucians, hold it. Breathe. Hello. Breathe. You got to breathe. But just breathe. Okay, I know you can't take the Majibetis, but you have to breathe for a while. Just hold it. All right? So the Prime Minister said that he told the police about the crimes. I'm a little confused because you said you're not the police, but you sound like an investigator. You were able to go out there all by yourself as Minister of National Security. I thought for a while that you were Superman, not Bugs Bunny, but Superman. Hello. And so, you all by yourself found some criminal activities. You just were able to go out there and investigate and found the criminal or criminals all by yourself. And you told the police. This sounds a little funny. I thought it's the police that have to update you on their findings. But it seems that you are doing the job of the police because you say, I'm not the police. But you are doing you're doing a better job than the police, PJP, because you're finding criminals all by yourself. And publicly you're saying to us, I know. Many of us are left to speculate, and I'm saying, is Mr. Pierce saying to us, and this is a question, that there is criminal activities or criminal elements associated with the United Workers' Party, or somebody in the United Workers' Party have been committing crimes, and Pierre know them, and he reported them. Somebody met Pierre at a party and told him, hey, don't tell nobody, y'all. But I see a crime. I want to report a crime to you. And Pierre said, tell me, I won't tell nobody, y'all. And they said to him, yeah, in the UWP, somebody doing bubble, somebody do commit a crime. Yeah. What, Reverend, this makes sense to you? Is this making sense to you, my friends, that the Prime Minister of St. Lucia would be boasting in the House that he not talking yet, and one day he will talk, but the following day he come out under pressure and say he tell the police already, and the people of St. Lucia just left like, but you said one day you will tell us. When you going to tell us, sir? But when you going to tell us, sir?
Depuis, mon passe après manger petit ça. Depuis, mon passe après manger petit ça.
So, and I get a headache, friends, a migraine, just listening and trying to repeat. Because I think at some point that I will need some meds, I will need something, not Tylenol, something stronger to balance or level me off. Maybe I need an injection or a shock. Electrical shock might do the job. But I need something to keep me in check. I got to put some electrical wires on my chair to give me a little shock once in a while, to shock me out of my shock. Because mom, I'm shocked. Tell Mom, Mark upon that the government of St. Lucia appointed the government of St. Lucia appointed a special prosecutor. Thousands of dollars St. Lucia is paying for a public prosecutor. But the Prime Minister has private information about a crime or crimes, but he goes to the police, bypassing the special prosecutor. But he, Mr. Prime Minister, was looking at the opposition when he was speaking. So you're of the opinion that there is somebody in the United Workers' Party that the Prime Minister knows about that is involved in some kind of corruption, bobble, or crime. It sounds to me, because Mr. Pierre said to us that most of the criminal activities in St. Lucia, they are as a result of gangs. Are you telling us that one of the gang leaders are in the United Workers' Party, or they're in the House or the Senate? Is that what you're saying to us? What are you saying to us, really? Because you say you know who's committing the crime, which means that all the crime in the country, you finally found out through the grapevine who is responsible for the crime. And the police just had you to come in, make a statement, and go home. There is no raid, there is no movement. Nobody's calling the French people to come over quickly, bring the army, bring everybody. We know where they are, because a whole lot of gun shooting was in St. Lucia. But you stayed in the House and make us believe that you finally you finally found out the criminals. You found the criminals all by yourself. So my question is, what is the job of the special prosecutor? I mean, it seems like an urgent matter that you would bypass the public, the special prosecutor, and then you would go to the police. It means that is something of urgency. This is a major criminal movement that you unearthed, that you uncovered, and it should have been classified information. So you now in the house, you are alerting the criminals that you found them, and so you give them enough time to jump ship and to jump on boats and jump on plane and run for their life, because the Prime Minister, National Security Minister, found them out and told the police. And so before the police can move in, Pear had already told all criminals in the country that he found the root of the crime. He found the crime master in St. Lucia. He finally found that one person who is responsible for all the killings, all the crimes in St. Lucia. Reverend, I don't know whether I should cry, laugh, scream. I don't know what to do. You tell me, somebody, what to do. I don't know what to do. I really don't know. Prime Minister uncovers a crime spree and alerted the general public that he found them. So if I'm a criminal, Gasa Nakui tell me, I keep this at least one time. Pamo is a guy here, and I keep it one time because Prime Minister had the tooth moon. I found you all, and you all, I ain't talking yet, you know. No, I'll tell you all one of these days. I will tell you all. But you're pretending in here. So he's speaking to in here. He's speaking to in the house. So UWP, you all have to lawyer up because pretense, all this pretense.
No, all that pretense about crime and who's pushing crime, I know what's happening behind the scene. What's happening behind the scene? I know. I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say it at some point, and you all may have to deal with me because I know what's happening behind the scene.
Boy, this is dangerous. You know, the man say you all will have to deal with me. Who is the you all? Because if you're dealing with criminals, why are you challenging them and telling them they will have to deal with you as the Prime Minister? Why are you putting yourself in harm's way, in danger? You are not the police, your father is. Continue giving the police vans and motor cars and stuff. Continue doing that. You're safer doing that. But now you have become detective. Overnight, you have become detective. From I don't know about police, I'm not a police, to being an investigator, to being a police and reporting crime the following day. You understand my confusion, St. Lucians? You guys understand that I'm confused, ain't it? Our National Security Minister at his best. Reverend, I would love to go back to the days where I hear Mr. Pear say to us, I am not the police, my father is. I prefer to hear that than to hear this. 100 times over. You all will have to deal with me. And one of these days I'm going to speak. My question to you, Mr. Pear, are you referring to anyone in the house? I will assume you might be I will tell you why I believe, and you're not a crazy man. I'm telling you, I believe based on your statements that you are speaking to someone specific in the house. Because you will never stand up to criminals outside and tell them, you all will have to deal with me. Why? Because you told us you are not the police. So how can they deal with you? Why do they have to deal with you when you are not the police? So you must have been speaking to somebody in the house. Who is the somebody? That is the question. To be or not to be is not the question. The question is, who in the house are you sending parole for? Parole jeté. Ça pas parole bolawi ou sav. Once the Prime Minister said, the man know what he's saying. The man is exposed to national security information. The man is exposed to the impacts report. The man is exposed to everything in government. So, Mr. PJP, moko ka finek bagay sa because you got to speak more. You got to tell us a little more. Who in the house were you speaking to on that fateful day? Say, some of us have. Who in the house? Was it Shasne? I don't know. Was it Bradley? Mahav. Was it Kenny? I don't know. Was it Richard? I don't know. Who in the house? Was it Emma? I don't know who you... Is it Healy? You got Healy off, so it can't be Healy. You got him scot-free. You went to ensure justice, so it can't be Healy you're talking about. Remember you freed him? That's what you made us believe. You and the speaker went to ensure justice. Mr. Prime Minister, who are you speaking to in the house? We want to know. We the citizens want to know. Don't come and drop power in the house and we now have to go and figure things out. We are going to speculate until you tell us the truth. So we are looking in the house. We are looking at all of you in the house right now. We are looking at every one of you guys in the house right now. Based on that statement that the Prime Minister said. Because no criminals out there have to deal with any Prime Minister. They got to deal with the police. Criminals on the inside, if they're in his government, they got to deal with him. Brethren, for us to find out what's going on in the house, we will have to ask Miss Diana Charles to loan us Mistress Sugarcake Charles so that she can sweep the house, smell all of them, and tell us which one of them fellas Pear was talking to. Bring Sugarcake in. I am starting a movement to bring Sugarcake in the house so she can smell all them fellas and tell us which one of them Pear was talking about. That's our only hope tonight. Sugarcake Charles. Where? Somebody tag Diana. Tell her we will need Sugarcake Charles. Feed him a little more. Let him get a lot of rest. We need him in the house to find out who is the criminal that the Prime Minister is talking about. And we need to know before the election so we won't have to elect criminals, Mr. Prime Minister. This story ain't going nowhere. Bring Sugarcake Charles to the house. Brethren, there are certain discussions that we should never allow to just go like that. This is one of them. We got to take this serious. The Prime Minister is basically saying to us that there is somebody sitting among them or some group sitting among them in government that we taxpayers are paying that are involved in criminal activities. When you leave the public to speculate, they will speculate. You said it. You got to explain it. I don't want you coming and laugh to us. You need to have a national press conference and explain to the people of St. Lucia, what do you mean by they will have to deal with you? And like I said, you are not the police. Upa police. So why do they have to deal with you? What do you know that we don't know? That you know? That we should know? Because we want to know whether we are voting for criminals or we are voting for law-abiding citizens. You, Mr. Prime Minister, have just thrown the elections in chaos. You, Mr. Prime Minister, have now thrown the entire cabinet of ministers in a very vulnerable position, where all St. Lucians, or majority of fair-thinking St. Lucians, are trying to figure out who is Mr. Prime Minister angry with in the House. Who is he jeting power for? And like I have already done, I have already showed you why he's not speaking to criminals out there, but he's speaking to people on the inside. We want to know. And if, perchance, that it is somebody in the United Workers' Party, we want to know, so we will not vote for them. Because we are not voting for criminals. Criminals should not be in government. Criminals should not be in any part of our government system that breeds corruption. We got to set some standards. And you, Mr. Prime Minister, have information right now that we need to know. The United Workers' Party supporters under my life want to know, who are you talking to? What are you talking about? Because you were very sure of what you were saying. So don't come today cover it up and talk, well, I've already given the police the information. No. If you said that you know behind the scenes, that person should have been arrested from last night. That person should have been taken in for questioning. And two, you have a special persecutor. If it's a government minister, that person should have been handed over to the special persecutor also. Did you speak to the special persecutor about what you know, Mr. Prime Minister? These are questions that we must stay on. We must stay on those questions like a tick on the back of sugar cake. Sugar cake penny ticks. Maybe the one coming soon. We don't know the health of that one. But we want to know, and it makes sense. It makes sense, and that's why I'm saying our politicians, our leaders need to be careful with their choice of words. I'm going to say it again. Our politicians, our leaders got to be responsible with their choice of words. And when you get yourself angry, sit down, shut your mouth, and cool off. Do not say words when you are angry, because those words will come back to haunt you. Be careful, little mouth, in your anger and your frustration, what you say. Because the United Workers' Party is not a party that encourages criminal elements or criminal activities. And if we find out that there is one in the party or two in the party who are involved in criminal activities, the United Workers' Party, like they all will do, will expel them, will stand up to them, will cast them out the party, will vote them out the party, will disassociate with them. That is the track record of the United Workers' Party. We do not encourage criminal elements in the party. So you have information and you need to tell us so that we can call an executive meeting, we can call a convention, and we can remove whosoever criminal you're talking about. Tell us. Be responsible, Mr. Prime Minister. Tell us, who are you talking about? Who? Who is it? And I insist that we need to know. I insist that we need to know. I insist we must know. Don't give us a piece of story. You told us there was a Panama account and then something else. You keep doing that to us St. Lucians, and we are saying that today is the day. Enough is enough. You tell us, Mr. Prime Minister, what in heaven you are talking about. Tell us. We want to know.
I know all that pretense about crime and who's pushing crime. I know what's happening behind the scene. What's happening behind the scene? I know. I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say that at some point, and you all may have to deal with me, because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know all that pretense about crime and who's pushing crime. I know what's happening behind the scene. What's happening behind the scene? I know. I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say that at some point, and you all may have to deal with me, because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know all that pretense about crime and who's pushing crime. I know what's happening behind the scene. What's happening behind the scene? I know. I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say that at some point, and you all may have to deal with me, because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know all that pretense about crime and who's pushing crime. I know what's happening behind the scene.
Just a minute.
What's happening behind the scene? I know.
Take his microphone. Usher him out.
I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say that at some point, and you all may have to deal with me, because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know all that pretense about crime and who's pushing crime. I know.
St. Lucians, this is very, very serious. Honestly, this is very serious, what the Prime Minister said in the House. And I am shocked that the reporters are not pushing enough so that the Prime Minister can issue a statement to us. He is the National Security Minister. He should not have been saying what he said there. No government minister who serve as national security, except Kenny, who said that he spoke the truth about the impacts report. He said it. But this statement by the Prime Minister have just opened up a whole can of worms on one, the impacts report, on two, what did he stumble across in his office? What did he stumble across in the House? What did the Prime Minister stumble across that he would make such a statement? Who told him what? What did he read? Tell us, we need to know. St. Lucians, I want you tonight to share this life like you have never shared before. We need answers. We need answers. And every time I turn on this system, I'm going to play this tape until we get answers from the government of St. Lucia. Matter of fact, I believe it is time for us to pin a letter. It is time for us to pin a letter so that we can get a statement. We should pin a letter to the Governor General. We should pin a letter to the head police, the chief of police. We should pin a letter to the Prime Minister, to the Attorney General, to every legal person that we can send a letter to. We must get answers to these questions. We must. We have to. Because if Mr. Shastney had made that statement, all hell would have broken loose in every media house in St. Lucia. All hell will break loose with the legal fraternity. All hell will break loose with the Speaker of the House. Because the Speaker of the House did not bring back order to the House when the Prime Minister, through that statement, threw the House into chaos. Imputing improper motive, casting a shadow over the honorable, august body of St. Lucia, the House in session. The Prime Minister of St. Lucia cast a shadow over the sitting of the House. There is a shadow following every government minister. Mr. Healy, you are not Prime Minister material, but take over the Prime Ministership from this Prime Minister, please. Somebody needs to step in. Allow him to be the Minister of Finance and somebody else be the Prime Minister. For the sake of the country, for the sake of the other ministers, for the sake of the House. This statement was it. You hear me? Somebody got to take over. And as I'm going to be sticking on this because we need to know that we're not voting for any criminals. Period. You owe us that. My flower people, I am going. But I want you to share this live like you have never shared it before. Cut it, paste it, cut it up how you want, send it all over the place. But we must get an answer to this statement from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Let's have a little entertainment before we depart. Enjoy.
Big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people.
Mon pas ça pour manger bêtise.
Big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story.
Mon pas ça pour manger bêtise.
Attack elderly people and tell. A big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people.
Mon pas ça pour manger bêtise.
Big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. A big story.
Mon pas ça pour manger bêtise.